Hello and welcome to our video on navigating Medicare prescription drug plans. As you may know, Medicare Part D is the prescription drug coverage component of Medicare, and it can be a bit confusing to understand. That's why we're here to break it down and explain how it works. The Medicare prescription drug plan, also known as Part D, is offered by private insurance companies, and it helps cover the cost of prescription drugs. One important thing to keep in mind when choosing a Part D plan is that each plan has its own list of covered drugs known as a formulary. It's important to check the formulary of the plan you're interested in to make sure that the drugs you take are covered. Also, it's important to compare the costs of different plans, as the premiums, deductibles, and copays can vary. These plans cover at least 2 drugs in each therapeutic category, and these are usually more popular ones that your doctor will prescribe. So what's covered? Outpatient prescription drugs according to the formulary of the drug plan that you choose. What's not covered? Over-the-counter items that you may have heard about from Advantage plans, since these will have a cash amount every month or quarter that you can apply to over-the-counter items. Cosmetics, vitamins, among other items you can buy at pharmacies will also not be covered. Also, you should be aware of what costs are covered by the plan and what costs you will have to pay out of pocket. Some plans have a coverage gap, also known as the donut hole, where you will have to pay more for your drugs until you reach a certain spending limit. But don't worry, there are plans that offer coverage during the donut hole, so it's important to compare and shop around. But let's spend a little more time on this. The first phase is the deductible. These can vary plan to plan, but can only max out at $505 for the 2023 year. Once you meet this deductible, your plan will begin covering drug costs. The second phase is the initial coverage period. This is when you will start paying copayments or coinsurance. For most plans in 2023, the initial coverage period will end once you have accumulated $4,660 in total drug costs. This is when the coverage gap begins. This is the third phase. When you reach this gap, you will be responsible for 25% of the cost of any brand name drugs you take and 37% of the cost of any generic drugs you take. So for example, if the drug's total cost is $100 and you pay your plan's $20 copay during the initial coverage period, you'll be responsible for paying $25 or 25% of $100 on brand name drugs and $37 or 37% of $100 on generic drugs during the coverage gap. Once you reach $7,400 in out-of-pocket costs for covered drugs, you'll enter the fourth phase, known as the catastrophic coverage phase. This amount includes your deductible, any copays you made during the initial coverage period, almost the full cost of brand name drugs, including the manufacturer's discount, purchased during the coverage gap, and amounts paid by state pharmaceutical assistance programs. During this phase, you'll pay significantly lower copays or coinsurance for the remainder of the year. Another important thing to keep in mind is that the plan you choose can change from year to year. You'll have a period of time each year, typically from October 15th to December 7th, to review and make changes to your plan if needed. It's important to review your plan during this period to make sure you're still getting the best coverage for your needs. So on October 15th, the annual enrollment period starts. You will also be able to switch to a different plan or drop your coverage entirely. On December 7th, the annual enrollment period ends, and you will no longer be able to make changes to your plan. Last year, there were special enrollment periods that extended the end of AEP, so if you've passed that date, you might still have a chance to change things, but I wouldn't recommend waiting till the end of AEP. Finally, January 1st is when coverage for whatever plans you changed or added will start. It's important to compare the costs and coverage of different plans, and make sure to speak with a representative from the plan you are considering to get more information. And that's a brief overview of how Medicare prescription drug plans work. Remember, it's important to stay informed and review your coverage options each year to make sure you're getting the best plan for your needs and budget. If you have any questions or need more information, comment down below or visit the official Medicare website. We hope you found this video helpful. It's important to stay informed and review your coverage options to make sure you have the best plan for you. For more information or to get a personalized plan that fits your needs, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you for watching.